The Space Invaders Frenzy arcade game was released in 2016. It brings the classic Space Invaders feel, but with new gameplay elements and light guns. This ticket redemption game, usually found at Dave & Buster's, has been a popular game to win tickets. The tips provided in this strategy guide will help whether you want to go for the high score or win tons of tickets. A lot of the information from this video can be found at the article that I'll link in the description below. If you want to just read it, you can click on the link. Otherwise, I'll rehash a lot of the information in this video. I have 6 tips for Space Invaders Frenzy. The first tip is actually the most crucial tip, especially if you want to go for tickets. And that is, know if the game is in ticket redemption mode or free play mode. This is important because I've gone to the arcade before where I tried to play Space Invaders and just assumed that it was on the ticket redemption mode. But I found out that I didn't win tickets and it was just on the free play mode. Recently, a lot of arcades have been putting the Space Invaders Frenzy machines into free play mode or ticketless mode. This is because the game has been so easily taken advantage of for winning tickets in the past. Free play mode does not give out tickets, but the game lasts longer as you can play through more stages. You also have 3 lives instead of just 1. This mode still allows you to go for the high score though. Most, if not all, Dave & Buster's locations will have Space Invaders Frenzy in this mode where you can't win tickets. This was not the case a few years ago. Back then, people won tickets too easily and took advantage of this. That is the reason why Dave & Buster's changed it. Other arcades may still have the game in ticket redemption mode. To check if the game is in ticket redemption mode, you need to look at the top of the screen. It will say how many points you'll need to win the bonus and then tell you what the invader bonus is. The invader bonus is how many tickets you will win if you get enough points. And you can see that here. To tell if the game is in free play mode, you can still look at the top of the screen. You won't see the invader bonus, but instead it should say free play at the top of the screen. The next tips are the best strategies to win tons of tickets. Even if you play on a machine in free play mode, these tips will still help you beat the high score. The next tip is to shoot the bonus point ships. This is a simple tip, yet a lot of people don't know about it. Whenever this ship comes up on screen, immediately try and shoot it. Really keep your eye out for it. It can blend into the rest of the ships and be hard to spot. This bonus ship gives tons of points for not much effort. You'll get anywhere from 750 to 2,000 points per ship. When you hit it though, you'll want to go back to shooting the other ships so they don't reach your base at the bottom of the screen. But it is well worth going out of your way to shoot this ship. The next tip is to aim for the lowest row of alien ships. Just like the classic Space Invaders, the alien ships start at the top of the screen and will move towards the bottom. It's game over once one ship hits the bottom of the screen. Because of this, you'll want to shoot the lowest row of ships and work your way up. It sounds simple enough, but the ships gain a tremendous amount of speed later on in the game. To help with this, you'll want to aim on the same level as the lowest row of ships and move slightly right and left horizontally to help get these faster moving ships. The next tip is to save the bombs until you really need them. Space Invaders Frenzy added a new feature from the original where bomb power-ups will bounce across the screen. If you shoot this floating bee, it will explode, killing all the enemy ships in a large area. A lot of beginner players will shoot this as soon as they see it. The key to getting further in the game is to save the bombs until later. The later into the game, the more ships will appear on screen. With more ships, the bomb can kill more enemies. The bombs do not disappear until you shoot them. There can also be multiple bombs bouncing on screen. Later on, you can get a chain reaction of bombs, which can destroy a lot of enemies on the whole screen. This can really save your butt towards the later stages of the game, where tons of enemies fill the screen and move quickly towards your base at the bottom of the screen. The 5th tip is to play when the required bonus score is low. The bonus score needed to win the bonus ticket amount is displayed at the very top of the Space Invaders Frenzy machine, if it's in ticket redemption mode. This required score should be around 20,000 points initially. This score gets a little higher after someone wins the jackpot bonus. You should look for a required score of around 20,000 to 50,000 points. It is quite easy to get 20,000 to 30,000 points. A bit tougher, yet doable with practice, to get 30,000 to 50,000 points. If you want to win tickets, you should avoid playing if the bonus score needed is over 60,000 points. it is virtually impossible to get over 60,000 points, even for the best players. Normally, the bonus score doesn't jump up too high, but the score does get to this impossible number to beat when the game decides it is time to not allow more tickets to be won. See, the Space Invaders Frenzy machines have a payout limit. If it reaches this limit, where it gives out a certain number of tickets, then the required bonus score will jump up to 80,000 points or even higher. The payout limit and how often the bonus score is reset can be changed by the arcade location in the settings. And that brings us to our final tip. Be familiar with the Space Invaders Frenzy manual settings. Some settings can be changed depending on what the arcade owner has them set to. It is important to know so that you can have all the information you need to win. Again, Dave & Buster's generally all share the same settings. The important settings that we want to look at can be found in the Space Invaders Frenzy manual on pages 21 to around 29, and I'll link the manual in the description below. Here's what the manual says on the payout limit mentioned in the last tip. Payout percent. Set your targeted payout percentage. Game defaults to 40%, which is the recommended setting. Important note, Space Invaders Frenzy has a dynamic targeted payout system in place, but it is a skill-based redemption game. There will be some slight volatility and variation in payout among different skill level players. Some other settings that the arcade can change. It can change, of course, if the game is in free play mode or ticket redemption mode, like I mentioned earlier. The coin or chip cost can be adjusted. Space Invaders Frenzy costs 9 chips at Dave & Buster's, which is pretty expensive compared to the average arcade game that costs usually around 6.4 chips. The jackpot bonus ticket amount can be 250 tickets, 500, 750, or 1,000 tickets, but the default amount for tickets is 500. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can use these tips to help you win at Space Invaders Frenzy. Subscribe and like for more arcade game tips and tricks. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you.